start by saying I'm really nervous, so please don't judge me too harshly because I've never done this before. Okay, my apologies for any nervousness you are like,
Name and word.
Trish Calais, Ward 3. My apologies for any as I said, I hadn't done this before, so my apologies for any nervousness you're likely to hear in my voice. I've never lived in a town or a city where I needed to publicly speak about the behavior of a council member, and this is very unfortunate. I no longer feel safe here, and I now carry pepper spray with me at all times because of this. And the reason for this is because of the way I've been treated by Mr. Stone and his friends. I also want it to be said that this man also has an arsenal of firearms available to him, which makes me nervous. And this is not an attack on the Second Amendment. I'm for it. This is not an attack on firearms. It's just trying to make the distinction that somebody who is this unstable.
Can we refrain from making accusations?
We can. But I will say what was written,
Okay.
which is not an accusation.
Yep.
Okay. Any reasonable person would feel unsafe. My husband wrote opinion pieces to the Eagle Times and shared his opinion at a city council meeting regarding the nativity scene. He has this right, as does any member of the city, whether you agree with it or not. And this council has a responsibility to handle these opinions and requests with maturity and an open mind. Well, it seems that the majority of the council members have done this. It is clear that one has not, and even decided to use social media to cause harm. I do not 100% agree with my husband's approach or opinion, but I am not his property, and I am not required to share all of his opinions. But I do feel strongly that he has a right to have them, as does anyone else, and that he shouldn't be harassed or threatened for it. Mr. Stone seems to have a very archaic view of gender roles. And as a result, decided to share my wedding pictures in my place of work with malicious intent, as well as allowed his friend, who I had been told is a probation officer, to make comments about sling blades directed to me and my husband. He even encouraged the behavior on his Facebook post and participated. Mr. Stone stated that the only reason he did this was to share who we were. I demand that he explain why he thought it was okay to come to my page, take my photos, and allow threats when I have not publicly shared my opinion on the nativity scene. This is not rhetorical, and I expect an answer when I'm done. In addition, Jeremy Harrell has also shared my pictures and allowed threats, including his own, to make a video about me. He then asked Mr. Stone to help him share this video, and Mr. Stone loved this comment on Facebook. So now he thinks it's okay to use his role to spread hate, not just about my husband for his opinion, but about me, who's not even been involved in the opinions. Again, I have my own opinions. Again, Mr. Stone's archaic view of gender roles made him think that it was okay to include me in this, and I want to remind him I now have the right to vote, and I will use that right. In addition to his warped views of women, he has also made multiple other comments in his post towards transgender people and people suffering from mental illness. While these insults are not particularly intelligent or witty, they are disgusting and hurtful. As a mental health professional, I see what struggling with mental illness looks like. And it is absolutely disgusting that any person, especially an elected official, would make a joke about this. Mr. Stone represents the city and the residents that live here, including people who are transgender and people living with mental illness. How can you appropriately and effectively represent all of us if you don't even see us all as people? Mr. Stone has no other choice but to resign. Not only can he not represent all of his constituents effectively, but he is tainting the names of all councilors and elected officials that stand before me. He is also making a joke of our city when we should be working together to lift Claremont up. He has made it clear that people with an opinion different than his deserve to be harassed and threatened. He has made it clear that he will do the same to someone who has never even shared this opinion. He made it clear he does not respect transgender people. He made it clear that he thinks mental illness is a joke. He has made it clear that not only can he not be appropriate and effective in his role, but he doesn't deserve to represent us. He believed this was all a joke until he was forced to speak to his actions. And even now, I don't believe he thinks what he did was wrong. Okay, thank you. Mr. Stone is upset over someone's opinion regarding the nativity scene. What would Jesus do? I bet he wouldn't harass someone for their opinion, harass their family, make fun of minorities, allow threatening behavior and engage in it, and just be an overall hurtful person. To me, it doesn't sound like we deserve the nativity scene. Stuck together, sorry. As Mr. Stone, who's supposed to represent all of us, cannot represent the love, kindness, and acceptance that that scene represents. As Gandhi said, I like your Christ, I do not like your Christians. Your Christians are so unlike your Christ. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody in this row that would like to speak? Yes, Mr. Clay.